This is Rob Humphrey, and I am with the band Bonfire John. Guys, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Great.
Doing good, thanks.
All right, everybody go around the room real quick and introduce yourselves.
I'm Zach. I play bass.
Joe Linnemeyer, play lead guitar.
My name's Owen Jans. I sing and play guitar.
My name's Kate Haldrup. I play drums.
All right, and now as we went around the room, I noticed not a single person named John. Let's talk about that for a second. Where'd this name come from?
Joe and I, when we were in high school, played a lot of like acoustic music together. We would just have bonfires probably it felt like every weekend or so. We'd stay up till the next morning, and if I named the band,
music, of course.
Yeah, we played a lot of music. Just thought if I named it Bonfire Joe, like your average Joe, people would think it was just Joe playing. So we just kind of changed the acronym, I guess.
So to Bonfire John. Okay, yeah. All right. The song that we've been playing on Indie Underground is called My Name is Bill.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Bill in this room either. Somebody has an identity crisis. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that'd be me. Because as far as that one goes, I think that song was just about it was kind of a frustrating period. I think we were trying to finish up a lot of songs that we had recorded halfway through, and I was trying to finish those songs, and that kind of came up as like an answer to all that. Basically, the character in the song, Bill and Jill, both kind of are trying to like fit in with some sort of societal norm, I guess. And then at the end, John, he basically says, he doesn't really care about any of that stuff. So that's sort of the mentality of like the band and
Bonfire John.
And Bonfire John.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
right.
see. The Bonfire, the mythical Bonfire John.
Right.
All right. So why don't you talk a little bit? College is out now on Tree Machine Records. It is the second. Is that correct? Okay, the second album. Talk a little bit about how the band came together first, and then we'll get into that record a little bit.
So college, we kind of were recording over, it seemed like a probably 4-year time period, which is why it was named college for one reason. And also being that Zach, who also records all the music, was at IU that whole time frame. That was sort of the mindset for the album name. And then as far as the band goes, for the first album, I had just been recording all the music by myself, except for Joe playing some guitar and doing some vocal harmonies. Beyond that, I just wanted to play some shows, and actually like build maybe some sort of fan base, and just kind of ran into that situation with having Zach play bass and Joe play guitar and Kate play drums.
All right, so everybody just sort of came on board to help with the recording of the live show and stuff. Mm-hmm. And where did you record the record?
Well, Zach, you wanna give that a shot?
Mostly just kind of in like basements or living rooms or just anywhere that we had access to and that we thought it would sound good. I just kind of went with what he wanted to do. It was kind of his music. He composed it. I just did the best I could to kind of make it sound just wholesome and real.
Did you record the album over 4 years, or was that like the writing process and the recording process and all that?
I want to say most of the songs were finished like as acoustic songs, just at least one guitar and vocals all the way through. But with the first album, everything was sort of added onto it, with bass and drums after you'd kind of hear it through playback. But I think college, we had kind of known what some of the parts would be. And the reason it took so long, I think, is just Zach was still in school, getting his degree, and I was up in Indianapolis going to school as well. There was just a lot of things in between recording that seemed more important at the time, I guess.
Yeah, okay. So. I want to talk about the release of College. It was interesting to think. One of the things that caught my eye was the decision to do 4 different covers. Mm-hmm. Who came up with that idea? What was the inspiration there, and why?
Zach and I got together at one point. We looked through a couple different pictures that I had brought to him that were sort of, either taken over that period of time or just found during that period of time. And we started making various album artwork for each different picture, supposing that might be the actual album cover. And we ended up liking all of them, and then sort of decided that it'd be kind of a neat idea to just put out an album cover for each, either representing each year or representing that college is a different experience for everybody.
You're the main songwriter then, Owen. Is this going forward then? It seems to me that like in the beginning, Bonfire John was really your project, and then the band sort of formed around that. Is it going to be a group project going forward? Is that the plan?
Yeah. With the first album, there really wasn't like a band at all. And then, I told Zach, we should probably try to promote the music to some degree, or as best as we can. So we would do, acoustic sets with me and him, or a couple of different, almost like session musicians, basically, that we had asked if they could play. But after kind of getting everybody together, playing for, we've played a few shows now, I think we'd like to definitely, with the next album, try to make it like a fully worked on album, I guess, from all perspectives.
Has that work started yet, or are you still just playing shows and promoting college?
I'd say every time we practice together for each show, there's probably 2 or 3 songs that could have been written if we weren't practicing.
Right.
We'll just jam out a little bit at the beginning of each session, and there's definitely like sparks there.
We've had like one that we like made, I don't know, like a month ago or something.
Yeah.
And we played it at shows, just kind of like winging
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But it usually works out pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, we did make a song together that we do play live.
I want to go around the table real quick and talk to you guys about your influences. Kate, let's start with you. Who are your influences? You're a drummer?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So who do you look up to as a drummer?
That's a tough question to answer. I'd say like John Bonham, definitely. As like kind of Led Zeppelin was sort of the reason I started wanting to play music. So I've kind of always looked up to the 4 of them, and then especially like John Bonham's drumming style I really, really like. I mean, I'm not one to have like super favorite drummers. I really like Mitch Mitchell.
As a songwriter, Owen, who do you think influenced your style the most?
It's a lot of pop kind of influenced music. So, I mean, even if sounds like indie, lo-fi, the Beatles would be one of them. Bob Dylan would be huge. Joe and I used to listen to him like all the time.
Right.
Elliott Smith is a big one, but that's not as clear, I think, through the music.
All right, Joe, what about you? Who's influenced your styles?
It's hard to think of like lead guitarists. Like, I don't know. Elliott Smith. He said Elliott Smith. I always thought like his guitar work was like really impressive, and it's kind of like subtle. Like you can't really tell that it's something really complicated, but it just sounds really nice.
You definitely sound like Elliott Smith for sure when you're playing lead stuff, but I think Modest Mouse, I think you sound like, when you do different...
Or Build a Spill.
Build a Spill
is probably my favorite.
All right.
Guitar work.
Yeah, like as far as like guitar work goes.
Zach?
I would say like, I don't know, I thought The Who was really cool. I think their bassist is like John Entwistle.
John Entwistle, yes. All he ever did his entire career was stand there and be the greatest bass player who ever lived and ever get any recognition in that band.
Yeah.
That's Zach.
All right.
All right, so college is available now, and where can folks follow the adventures of Bonfire John online?
Probably the easiest way to hear about shows or anything would be through our Facebook page, facebook.com/bonfirejohn. TreeMachineRecords.com usually has posts about, new information. So yeah, that's probably the easiest way.
All right, great. Thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks
All
for
right?
having us.
All right.